Is it the bull market? Is it a bear market? Or is it a moose market? Well, if you are selling a condo in downtown, you know it is tough. Or if you're thinking of selling a condo in downtown Toronto, it is tough. The inventory is insane. There are hundreds of units for sale at the moment. So a couple of things. I would like to talk to you about why this is the case, how you could potentially sell your unit faster or sell it, period, right? Because what I'm finding mostly right now is like that the sellers are not giving up, right? They're not giving up because, you know, a few years ago, you know, Toronto was the city with the most cranes, you know, in the world, right? And we were all proud about that. We loved that, you know, business was good. The hype was definitely present. Now, having said that, a few years down the road, what happened? I mean, right, like, you know, so the inventory started catching up, and then the inventory that did not sell, you know, a few months ago is back on the market. So now we have double the inventory. If you were in a pickle, you know, a few years ago, and you had to decide buying a particular condo fast with not the best layout or with not the best accommodations, not the best floor height, you were kind of pushed or rushed into this particular market. So today when you're selling, I mean, like, look, there are definitely differences. I mean, like, you know, if somebody has a more superior view or floor height or a product in general, they will sell, right? So now, what can you do to actually, you know, help yourself and your agent guiding you in making that sale? Because it is extremely tough when you have, like, you know, 50 of the same units, you know what I mean, in the same building or a complex. Think about that for a second, right? Like, the buyers are confused as well, right? Like, so everybody wants a deal, which is fine, but everybody is confused. What do they do? Is it the right time to buy, or do they wait for another year? Like, or what's going to happen with the interest rates? As you know, the interest rates went down by a quarter point in June of 2024, which helped a little bit, but a lot of people are in a pickle. Right there, perfect timing. So they're in a pickle, like they don't know what to do, right? But having said that, I think definitely now it's the time when you build your actual real estate portfolio. There's a reason for it. Like, every decade or 2 decades, we get to these, you know, times where it sounds like or feels like or looks like it will not going to change. It's not going to change. Like, this is the end. It's not, right? Like, people in the 80s were thinking like that. People in the 90s were thinking like that. And guess what happened? Nothing happened. Some lost money. They did not calculate their life, or, you know, like they were greedy or whatever the case is. So I don't want to get into that right now. But what I'm trying to help you is finding a good solution or a strategy how you can force, or I'm not gonna say force, but how you can put your condo, you know, above other condos in the same building. So one of the strategies that I have used is called the reverse agreement or proposal. So a few years ago, we had, you know, as you know, and you know, buyers went through that stuff. Like, everybody hated that, and I can agree. But, you know, it is legal. Everybody can hold an offer. If there's more than one person trying to buy a unit, there's gonna be a bidding war, right? Like, people didn't like it. You know, the prices were set much lower, right? Like, and then, like, we had bidding wars and all of that stuff, and that was the process. So now the time changed, you know, the times have changed. So what can you do right now? So number one, your agent should encourage, you know, everyone that went through the place. You know, if you're in a need and you absolutely have to sell that place, right? Like, you can send a reverse offer, write up an offer, and send that to the buyer agent with the terms of your seller, right? Set the price, set the conditions, if any, or none, or whatever the case might be. Send it to the buyer agent and say, look, I'm proposing this, and let's see if we can work with that. So you can do the reverse. Do you understand what I mean? So the problem is, if you're not gaining any traction whatsoever, as an example, if you had, like, you know, your condo listed for 30 days, right? And you had one showing. Look, like, if people cannot see your place, they will not be able to, you know, like, put an offer, or there's some kind of barrier. Like, maybe it's not interesting, maybe the layout is not good, maybe the floor height, maybe like those condos are not in demand, or whatever the case is, but you have a problem. So a price reduction has to happen. It's a must. You have to. You don't have a choice. Okay. So then, if those, you know, showings start moving forward, and there's that, you know, particular, you know, few showings a week, which is a good number, then sit down with your realtor and discuss that strategy, reverse offer strategy. Write the offers, send it to the buyer agent, and say, look, this is our proposal. What do you think, right? And then, you know, like, I was successful because it worked for me, not on too many cases, but it did, right? Like, my you know, my clients were kind of financially suffering, in a pickle, and they absolutely had to get rid of it, and we got rid of it, right? And it worked fine, right? So even that agent, the buyer agent, was so surprised, and he was like, I have never ever went through this. They were trading for over 20 years and whatnot, and they're like, oh my gosh, I've never, you know, like experienced this. But listen, certain times in our career and life require different measures. So I believe that now it's the time where those measures have to apply, right? We have to be creative. Now, having said that, other real estate, when it comes to freehold real estate in GTA core and Toronto downtown and onwards, is doing well. You know, detached homes, semi-detached, everything that doesn't have any maintenance fees is doing very, 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 very well, and it's still holding somewhat of that, you know, market value, I should say. And obviously there are properties with like little maintenance fees or whatnot, like they're also doing well, right? So, but everything else, like, you know, it is dangerous. Like, think about that. Like, you know, like only around here, like there are, you know, 10 towers around, like, you know, Vaughan Mills, and, you know, there are thousands of units here, right? So you only need a couple of these units to sell below a particular threshold, and the entire kind of complex or that building collapses into that price threshold, right? So it is what it is, but try talking to your agent, or if you have any questions, reach out to me, comment below. I will reach back to you. I'll comment, or there's also my email, unlockyourway@gmail.com. You can write if you like. I can try to help you as much as I can, but try the reverse agreement strategy. It works sometimes. So I hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And see you all next time.